Hello everyone, it's Łukasz Malinowski, the Internet of Things advisor and trainer. And I'm really happy about today's topic because today we are going to bring all of the important aspects of Internet of Things into the table, right? So starting from the transforming business, and we will actually cover transforming business in multiple steps. I will briefly cover about the technology. That won't be deep dive technical session, though I will mention a few technical aspects as well. So hopefully that will be interesting for you. And I will guide you through the thought process that I typically use with my customers if we are in the beginning or during the transformation of the business. So once again, really excited to this topic. Probably it will take more than 15 minutes, so sorry for that, but I do believe that it will bring a lot of value to everyone. So please say hi in chat, ask any questions, comment on what I'm saying, because I'm open for a discussion. And let's get started, because as you can see, we've got quite a few topics that I would like to cover today. So we are going to use. Hello, Wojciech. It's great to have you here. So I will use the self-storage business vertical as an example, though this is something that applies to basically every type of business. But let's use this because I believe it's going to be easy for everyone to follow. So let's say this is our city map, and we've got quite a few storage places that are run by our company. And of course, this company got some office with the office admin team, possibly located somewhere in other place than the storage facilities themselves. So when the customer enters the building, they need to fill papers, and before they can even access services we provide. And once they fill the papers, they will get a physical key to access the location, and they need to travel to the location they choose to basically access the storage space. And of course, there is staff on site that helps them, that governs the location. And as I said, for this specific example, we've got number of locations, right? So every location we've got dedicated on-site staff working maybe during the shifts, maybe in fixed hours. But this is basically the legacy approach to the self-storage business. And today I would like to show you how could we transform that business into more modern service-oriented approach, leveraging IoT technologies. So first of all, we can switch from the pen and paper approach to digital form, and that does not transform the business as such. We are basically taking existing processes and putting them into the digital form. So at least according to my own definition, this is not transformation of a project or a company as such, right? This is basically lift and shift, lift from the pen and paper into the digital form. But this is the first step that we need to take on the whole journey, and that journey leads to the full transformation of the enterprise. So what's next? Like the next step is to use this mobile phone as the universal key to all the facilities, all the services that we provide as a service owner, and replace that the physical keys and issues with physical access. In order to do so, we need to use some kind of a backend system to host our logic, to gather data from various endpoints. And in our examples, as typically I'm using the AWS cloud, but this is just for example purposes. Of course, we could use any other type of cloud backend to meet that goal. Because today we are more focusing on the mindset than on the actual technical things. So, as I said, we want to take this smartphone that our customer got and transform it into the universal key to access all facilities and access all services that we provide. And there are a number of ways we can achieve that. Like we could use number of technologies, yeah, like near frequency communication, Bluetooth, even a QR code displayed directly on our mobile phone. And here we've got quite a few interesting questions. How much we want to uh, put in terms of requirements on the end user. For instance, if we want them to use Bluetooth, then they need to enable that Bluetooth connectivity on their mobile phone, and they might have some potential security um, issues with it or other things, right? The same goes with NFC or other technologies. So that's why often, as the starting point, I propose using QR codes because those are the simplest possible form, and basically any smartphone can display those codes. So there is no risk that the hardware that is used by the end user cannot integrate with the whole system. But this is just a technical aspect. What is important is that we eliminate the on-site stuff from the picture and we leverage the equipment used by our customer with maybe application, maybe just a web page, and using that interface our customer can access connected log and open that log simply using on mobile phone. In order to actually open that log, of course, this device needs to connect to the backend to confirm that it should let in that specific user. And the connectivity probably is not as direct as you've got on this diagram because this is purely for the demonstration purposes. In a second, I will show you a bit more advanced way to connect the on-site devices to the backend system. But for now, let's assume that this log is connected to the same backend as is used by our customer via the mobile phone. And this way, we established trust between the user and the log using, let's say, this QR code. Okay, so it worked. Our user was able to open this connected log, access the storage space, and put some things inside. But what if that person wants to put something really expensive? Right? Probably when you've got some expensive painting that you want to store, you've got some extra requirements, like you want to measure temperature, humidity, other aspects of the environment where that's used to store your picture. Furthermore, you are a bit worried about security, so probably you would like to have some extra security measures in place. And not only to see in real time what's going on, but also you want to have the access report. And that access report should cover any type of access to your facility. So not only yours on some like external person, but also if any member of the staff needs to access your facility, then that access should be recorded as well. So this adds a very important layer to the service that basically our end user can't add extra features to service he or she owned because the condition changed because now we've got something very expensive and the list goes on and on. So if we've got a painting, then maybe we would like to control the environment. So sorry, I just need to drink water. I've got a bit of a bit of sore throat. So when we've got something expensive, we want to control the conditions and not only monitor them remotely, right? So using the same mobile phone as we used to enter this storage facility, we can add some on-demand features. So basically, we are transforming the um, very static type of agreement into the very dynamic agreement between the user and the service provider, the storage facility provider in this case. And the user can basically leverage the mobile access to change the um, service configuration on demand, basically, and to add some additional features depending on the very specific needs during specific time. So in this case, that person might to change the conditions inside the storage space to meet requirements of things that are stored. And this way, we transformed the business from the long-term pen and paper contracts into a very dynamic service-oriented billing model, which, in my opinion, is the actual transformation that we want to achieve in the long run. So, because this enables you to build additional features like we can add, for instance, the on-demand or scheduled access models. We can add temporary one-time access. So, for instance, you want to have some package to be delivered to your storage space, but you won't be there to um, see if everything is in order. You might grant one-time access for someone, um, and granting that one-time access allows you to add some additional value-added services, like for instance, real-time AI monitoring. So in this case, when someone is using the one-time code to enter your storage space, that triggers the real-time AI monitoring to ensure that this person is delivering a package without interacting with other things that you've got in that storage space. So once again, this shows the capabilities that once you've got the framework in place, then you can build on top of that framework. You can add some extra features. You can add some additional services that increase the end user satisfaction and offer them in a very dynamic manner, basically like the on-demand access. But now we've got pretty important question to answer because as you can see, we've got quite a few devices, right? And those devices, we need to manage them somehow because it's not only this single user that will use devices in our facilities. We also need to be able to monitor the whole system. And that's why we could leverage service like, for instance, AWS IoT Greengrass. In a nutshell, the AWS IoT Greengrass enables local logic to be executed on site and expose secure remote access. So um, ex- we can add some extra features to this device. We can add some additional applications. We can improve existing applications. For instance, we can deploy some improved machine learning models onto this device remotely, right? And because this Greengrass device, this is, let's think of it just as a computer that is stored somewhere in our storage facility. So that computer connects to all of that equipment using local internal network. And that brings yet another benefit that in case of the access issue to the backend, because for instance, we've got some kind of network outage, Greengrass does not have to be in constant communication with the AWS backend in order to operate, in order to provide that local logic, in order to execute machine learning models, to do some real-time analytics. So this is something that is very important more from the business continuity perspective, that if you design that complex ecosystem of devices and services, you want to ensure that this ecosystem can work without access to the backend. And AWS IoT Greengrass is just one of ways to implement that offline resiliency, that in case of any issues with the connectivity, the on-site operations will remain and will not impact the end user experience. So having that logic on site in every facility, also every storage facility will have at least one of those devices. We can enable the multi-tenant capabilities. So basically, we've got number of devices, but our user effectively owns devices that are used by that person, and we've got full control over those devices using the mobile application that we exposed. But at the same time, we are the owners of the whole fleet. So this Greengrass enables local management of the services, applications, and devices that we expose for the end user. It enables cost reduction. This is extremely important because, for instance, that real-time machine learning analytics, that would be pretty expensive to stream data to AWS, run some machine learning inference, and get the results back. That's totally doable. Actually, I've done the project like that. But probably in this case, it would be way more efficient from cost perspective to run those compute directly on our own hardware using the local network, and just send some samples to the AWS backend so we can improve our machine learning models. Um, Regarding the secure remote access, because we as the owner of the self-storage business got number of sites, and we want to be able to remotely access all of those sites just for the operational purposes, to see if there are any potential issues, or to optimize our processes. Using services like AWS Greengrass, we can expose those sites to the backend, so we've got full visibility of operations without introducing any security risk. And there are a number of other um, features that AWS IoT Greengrass provides that we could leverage, but for now, let's move forward and just think of it as the local logic that is executed on site, but we can improve that logic. We can add some additional applications remotely. And there is one interesting use case. Let's say this is our customer, and those are the storage spaces, and we want to enable our customers to easily find the storage space they should occupy. So we could use, for instance, the smart lighting for indoor navigation, and this is like pretty trivial application, but at the same time, I believe it would increase the end user satisfaction. So using very simple tricks like those, we can improve end user satisfaction. And since we already created the framework that consists of all the hardware and the operational logic that we put in place, for instance, using Greengrass, then we can add those value-added services remotely over time and see which services actually provide value to the end users. So let's move forward, because what if we've got some maintenance issue? Like there is something that needs to be fixed on site, or we've got some issues with the hardware that we deployed. Well, once again, for that purpose, we can leverage the on-site logic. So, for instance, using the same AWS IoT Greengrass that we talked about previously, we could use some camera that will detect issues. right? And our smart devices might send some notification to this AWS IoT Greengrass that they need maintenance themselves. And uh, once we got that in place, then the Greengrass can send, let's say, an SMS alert to our on-site staff, or rather, not the on-site staff. That's the difference. We do not need the on-site maintenance staff. We can have the on-demand maintenance staff that just receives the SMS alert that they need to fix some local issues, which is huge gain because it allows us to transfer from the on-site staff that basically is looking after the storage facility to on-demand stuff, and the storage facility is kind of monitoring itself, and that basically enables quite a bit of operational cost reduction and other gains that we could use. And in the future, probably not that distant future, if you follow the most recent technology announcements, we might even move from that on-demand stuff to the full automation. So in case of some on-site maintenance, we might leverage some automated solutions like robots and this type of equipment to manage all issues, or at least most of issues that we've got in our locations without any human involved. And of course, those devices will be connected with the AWS IoT Greengrass or any other equivalent of that service that runs locally and that can manage that fleet. So let's move forward because I would like to share yet another example with you. So let's say that our user needs to travel from one country to the other, and that person would like to take this very expensive painting, um, but for a number of reasons they do not want to take it with themselves, or they even are not allowed to take this type of luggage with them on the plane. So what can we do? We could offer the in-app journey planner. So the same application that our end user is leveraging to access the facility, to adjust the offering and the services they are using, they can use exactly the same app to plan a journey. And as a result, we as the service provider will transfer goods for them from one country to the other. We will provide the real-time status monitoring, so our user knows exactly in what conditions those goods are transferred and where the package is at any given time. And of course, once that person reaches the destination, they can use the same mobile app to access this facility without any physical keys and even contact with on-site personnel. So this is huge gain from the operational efficiency perspective. And if you take a look at this picture, it actually changes the whole positioning. So you are no longer the storage provider, you are the trusted global provider. You're basically a partner for the end user, and that person can trust that you will deliver the functionalities and services required for them to execute their business, right? So this is a huge gain because you are no longer competing with other storage providers, because you've got very unique set of services that you offer that make you the preferred choice, not one of the many. Um, so to wrap up a bit, let's take a look at this global view, because in order to have the global presence, we need to have some kind of remote admin instead of office admin team. And that remote admin needs to have a single dashboard. And that single dashboard needs to present data from every single location. So every single geographical location, every site, and every detail about every site. And because we've got connected devices and we monitor both the customers activity and the staff activity, we've got full data that we need to create what is called the digital twin of our business, right? So using those assets, we can create the digital model of every storage facility and even every customer um, that we use. We've got the full visibility into state of every device that we've got. We can predict some maintenance issues. We can predict the number of users at a given time, and basically based on that, we can further innovate and transform our business. And at some point, once we gather enough data and we create enough of digital assets, we can leverage AI to basically replace that remote admin with AI stuff. So fully automated process end to end, both from the admin perspective and the on-site maintenance perspective. That basically ensures that we've got the 24/7 operations. We've got reduced ongoing costs, and we can constantly innovate, constantly add some value added services based on the framework that we created. So that's all that I wanted to share today with you. Hopefully that was interesting. Hopefully it showed you the capabilities of the Internet of Things technology, how we can leverage it to transform the enterprise. And by transforming enterprise, I'm not talking only about the taking existing processes and putting them into some digital form. I'm more thinking about changing the way how the enterprise operates, how it markets and offers their services. Because by that, you can create the true competitive advantage that is very hard for others to easily copy, because they will lack the solid framework that you've got in order to run your business this way. So thank you for your time. Thank you for joining me today. Hopefully that was interesting for you. I'm Łukasz Malinowski, the Internet of Things advisor and trainer. All the best until next time.